Good morning and welcome to KidNuz, sponsored today by Bamboo Learning. I'm Kim. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, 2020, and we begin with the first woman to walk in space, now also the first woman to dive to the lowest point on Earth. Astronaut Kathy Sullivan took a tiny sub down to Challenger Deep, a hole that sits inside the Mariana Trench, 6.8 miles below the surface of the Pacific Ocean. The destination is pitch black, crazy cold, and reportedly has water pressure the same as 100 elephants standing on a person's head. Kathy's deep dive puts her in an exclusive club of only 8 people. In fact, more people have been to the moon than to the bottom of the ocean. How did she celebrate her trip down below? With a call to friends high above on the International Space Station. By all accounts, we won't be seeing baseball by the 4th of July. The league's latest pitch to get back on the field is for a 76-game season, with the World Series ending no later than late October. Sources say the Players' Union will probably say no by today if it hasn't done so already. Generally, the issue seems less about the number of games and more about money, how much owners are willing to pay, how much the players are willing to accept. Even if an agreement is reached, it will reportedly take a month for the season to start back up. Teams need about 3 weeks of spring training to get in shape, and all 1,000 players are currently scattered across the country and around the globe. An English dog that already has one Guinness record now has another. His name is Enormous Freddie, and he's already in the books as the biggest Great Dane in the world. How big, you ask? When he stands on his back legs, Freddie is over 7 feet tall, and he just turned 8. So now he's not only the largest, but right now is also the oldest known Great Dane on the planet. Ironically, Freddie was once the runt in his litter. Now his appetite is as enormous as he is. And he's a bit of a celebrity. His humans say they have to take him for walks early in the day to avoid the crowds. The Korean pop band BTS is throwing its money and its huge fan base behind the Black Lives Matter movement. Last week, the boys donated $1 million. This week, their charity fundraising group, known as One in an Army, matched it with another $1 million. In a tweet, BTS posted, "We stand against racial discrimination. We condemn violence. You, I, and we all have the right to be respected." Many other celebrities have also contributed to the fight against racial injustice, including Drake, Rihanna, Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, Halsey, and Harry Styles. Fortunately, they didn't lose their stuffing. Staffers at a COVID-empty amusement park in Holland had 2 objectives when they stuck 22 giant teddy bears on a new roller coaster. They wanted to entertain themselves and help promote the resort's reopening. Check and check. Untamed is the ride, and true to its name, it has 5 inversions or upside-down tracks, a 116-foot drop, and hits speeds of 57 miles an hour. With 22 teddies riding it, it's a video to behold. Some are calling it one of the best things they've seen in lockdown. Others are hoping the bears stick around for social distancing purposes now that the park has reopened. And that's it for KidNuz this morning. Now, our KidNuz quiz. The first woman to walk in space just became the first woman to do what? Dive to the deepest point on Earth. Once an agreement is reached between owners and players, how long will it take baseball to start back up? About a month. How big is Enormous Freddie? Over 7 feet when standing on his hind legs. How fast does the Untamed roller coaster go? 57 miles an hour. In One for the Road, you know it's big when it can be seen from space. A huge Black Lives Matter message that city workers in Washington, D.C. painted on the pavement has been spotted and photographed by a satellite. The big, bold, yellowed letters span 2 blocks of 16th Street. The White House is also visible, as is Lafayette Square, which hosted many recent protests against racism and police brutality. One of the world's most accomplished astronauts applauded the photo. Chris Hadfield, who flew 2 shuttle missions and commanded the ISS, tweeted, "What a super hopeful human thing to see from space." On this day in 1752, Ben Franklin changed history when he flew a kite into a thunderstorm. By attaching a key to the kite and using a jar to collect the storm's charge, he proved the connection between electricity and lightning. Mr. Franklin did not, however, discover electricity during this experiment, or at all for that matter. Electrical forces had already been recognized for more than 1,000 years. To dispel another myth, Franklin's kite was not struck by lightning. Had it been, he probably wouldn't have lived to talk about his discovery. For more on Ben and his many scientific contributions, just say, "Alexa, open Bamboo Luminaries." Before we go, we want to say happy birthday to Campbell in Smithfield, Kentucky, Claire in Arlington, Virginia, and in Wisconsin, Serene in Holman, and Jackson and Lucas in New London. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you back here for more Kid News tomorrow morning.